Thank you. Still with Dragon Cool. Still continuing the previous part, Moro can be seen starting to absorb all the energy of planet Namex. Meru's panicked and said they had to leave this place immediately, because their energy could be absorbed. They immediately went on the plane, and it looked like Eska was coming with them too. Jocko said that this sight must be very difficult for Eska to see. And Eska answered that he had promised that he would be safe even if he was alone. Elsewhere, Goku and the others have arrived at Moro's place. It didn't take long before they immediately attacked Moro. However, Moro's body was transparent, so none of their attacks hit. When he was about to change places, Goku and Vegeta came forward again to attack him. Goku uses Sun Kaneto to move in front of Moro, then immediately beat him very hard. But again, Moro's body is always transparent. This made Goku and Vegeta panic even more. The Great God then said that Moro's real body is not here, and they immediately rushed to find his real body. Not long after, the Great God found the real Moro, who is currently in space. Without thinking, Goku immediately moved to attack him, but the Vegetable Prince stopped him. He said that Science would not be able to survive in a vacuum. Goku was immediately shocked. Ultimately, it was the Great God who went to attack Moro himself. It can be seen that Moro is consuming the energy he just got. And when the Great God struck him, Moro used his shield. Moro said he was so annoyed, because the Great God used that face in front of him. This time, all of the Great God's attacks seemed meaningless in front of Moro. Instead, it was Moro who gave him a hard kick, until Dua Agung flew away. Then, the two of them started to move away, until Goku and Vegeta couldn't see them anymore. Meanwhile, Meru's realized that planet Namex was no longer losing its energy. Iriko said that Moro had left the planet's orbit. But for Goku and Vegeta, they are still in the atmosphere. Therefore, Meru's asked Iriko to pick them up first. Then, Dua Agung attacked Moro again using lasers repeatedly. But, Moro succeeded dodge all the attacks. Feeling annoyed, the Great God suddenly threw a large energy ball. And once again, the laser became Moro's dessert. Immediately, Moro immediately stepped on the gas and attacked the Great God using his head. Also, the Shakti Fist, which caused the Great God to be blown away. Moro said the strange ability of the Great God confused him. However, now that Moro's strength surpassed him, that didn't matter to him. Moro knows the power of the Great God is not like this. So he asked if anything had happened to the Great God in these 10 million years. Suddenly, the Great God had prepared to use his sealing technique again. However, Moro even challenged him to do it quickly. Moro said if he doesn't feel the power of the old Great God again. So, the current strength of the Great God couldn't possibly be enough to use the sealing spell. Instantly, Dua Agung panicked, Moro could tell. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta again feel that Moro's strength has increased again. If it continued like this, it wouldn't be long before Moro was beyond their abilities. Then, the Meru's plane had come to pick them up. There, keep saying the same thing, that the current power of the Great God couldn't possibly use the sealing technique. Goku and Vegeta panic, because that is their mainstay move. Meru said again, this was probably due to the division experienced by Majin Buu. Vegeta replied, you mean the division of the evil and good sides. Meru's explains that the power that the Great God actually has is in the evil Majin Buu. While the Majin Buu is large, it only inherits its physical form. On the other hand, Dua Agung continued to be tortured by Moro, until all the attacks he launched had no effect on Moro. Moro asked, did someone steal the power of the Great God? Until now he is just a fat pink pig. Then, Moro gave Tsubasa a kick, until the Great God bounced and hit the ground. After that, the Great God saw the past, where it was Goku's fight against the evil Majin Buu. Great God finally understood, when Goku destroyed Majin Buu's body, the power that Great God had also disappeared. At this time, Moro was very happy, because there were no longer any creatures that could seal his power. Meanwhile, Vegeta begins to question the technique of sealing the Great God. He said that such a technique would never solve the opponent's problem. Moro ultimately had to be defeated with physical strength. Goku also agreed with Vegeta's words. Therefore, they had to do something. Suddenly, he approached them with a serious face. He said, can Goku and Vegeta guarantee that both of them are stronger than Moro? Vegeta replied, one of them, in Super Saiyan Blue form, can definitely beat Moro. Hearing that, Meru's looked happy. So, he will lure Moro to planet Namex, so they can fight again. Meru's put on an astronaut suit, then immediately launched himself to the scene of the fight. By now, the Great God has run out of power, and Moro will finish him off using a large laser. But luckily, Meru's arrived in time to lock Moro's hands. Even so, Moro, who was violent, was still able to escape from Meru's trap. And at that moment, Meruz immediately moved to take Dua Agung away to a large rock. Meruz started making plans with Dua Agung so they could lure Moro to planet Namex. Before that, Meruz asked if the great god still had the ability to instant teleport. Dua Agung replied, of course he had that. When Moro came to their place, Meruz tried to divert his attention. And when Moro was able to overcome everything, as well as underestimate him, that's where Meruz came with a laser attack on his leg, so that Moro's eyes cannot see. Dua Agung immediately took advantage of this opportunity to move them to planet Namex. Goku and Vegeta also arrive to greet Moro. They too have now recovered. Meruz immediately returned to his plane and asked the others to follow them. While Moro looks happy, because planet Namex still has energy that he must absorb, Goku and Vegeta reply that they will destroy Moro now. But Moro just laughed. He said that they forgot his third wish to the Dragonballs. Meanwhile, in the galactic prison, the police seem surprised that Moro melted all the iron to escape. And it can be seen that many criminals are locked up in this prison. Starting from small class criminals to even serious class criminals are here. Suddenly, a light hit the entire prison. Suddenly, this shocked the police. What happened? And apparently, from the light was Moro's request to the Dragon Balls to free all the prisoners. All the prisoners were so happy, and they immediately rushed out of the prison. The image of the prison chaos reached Meruz. So, it made him wonder why this could happen. Eska, remembering Moro's request, then explained the real incident to them. Goku and Vegeta were surprised that that was what Moro asked. And suddenly, they saw a plane, which was boarded by the escaped prisoners. A laser was fired from the plane, to the point of making Goku and the others fall. Seen, Moro was talking to one of the prisoners. And the reason Moro freed them was because he would share his power. Goku and Vegeta also felt that there was a sudden increase in Araki. And not long after, the prisoners who had gained Moro's power immediately descended before them. The prisoners immediately attacked them fiercely. So, Goku, Vegeta, and Dua Agung had to fight fiercely. Even so, the prisoners were no match for the fighting maniacs. Many of the prisoners fell, and felt hopeless against them. At that moment, Moro again absorbed their energy, and planet Namek, making Goku immediately move to stop him. But, one of the prisoners, named Saganbo, managed to beat Goku until he returned to his normal form. Vegeta too suddenly lost his transformation, and was immediately beaten black and blue. Suddenly, the great god was also beaten fiercely, making him immediately helpless. Vegeta said that the previous Majin Buu fight must have exhausted him. Goku asks what Moro really wants from all this. Moro answered, to create an ideal galaxy, where he is free to eat any planet. Therefore, he gathered these prisoners to achieve his goal. Moro really hates the peace they maintain, he will destroy anyone who fights for peace. Now, Goku and Vegeta can no longer transform into Super Saiyan. Their energy had been reabsorbed. And they, without realizing it, had been exposed to Moro's tricks many times. But fortunately, when they were having trouble fighting these criminals, Meruz and the others came to help. Meruz emphasized that it was currently impossible to defeat Moro, and they had to step back to replan. Everyone agreed, and Dua Agung used teleportation to bring Eska. Goku invites the others to use Sunkadu, but the vegetable prince didn't want to run away with them. Vegeta asks the others to run immediately. But, this is where Vegeta emphasized that he would part ways with them. Vegeta immediately left them, while Goku, who had no other choice, finally left without Vegeta. Turns out, Vegeta went not to fight, but to the plane driven by Yuriko. Others have made it to the Galactic Police Headquarters. However, their arrival actually made the King of the Galaxy, who was taking a shower, panic. Goku says the reason he teleported to the bathroom was because the Galaxy King's key was all he felt. Meanwhile, with Yuriko's skills, their plane managed to escape the pursuit of Moro's men. Currently Moro has gotten a lot of energy from the planet Namex, and made his physical recovery almost complete. Those who have lost track of the Z Fighter also intend to immediately chase him. However, Moro immediately stopped them, because they were rare creatures who had enormous power. So, Moro allowed them to roam around, and would kill them if they interfered again. And what Moro is more important now, is the huge energy that exists on other planets. His subordinates said there were several planets that he knew about before, already roaming the galaxy. So, maybe there are some planets that have great energy. Finally, Moro and his crew went to explore several planets. On the other hand, the King of the Galaxy was shocked to hear that all the prisoners had escaped. Suddenly, his men said, for the King of the Galaxy to wear something. Because right now, the King of the Galaxy is naked. And what's strange, instead of wearing clothes, the king of the galaxy only wears a crown. Goku was just confused. It's not like he's still naked, huh? Jocko also explained that the king of the galaxy was no longer naked, because he was wearing his crown. Jocko also said that Eriko didn't actually wear pants. Goku just looked at it and was confused. Not long after, Asuka came over to Goku. Goku asks, "Where is the great god now?" And apparently, the great god was asleep after the fierce fight he had. The great god's face had changed again to Majin Buu. Then, Asuka asked where Vegeta was. Goku answered, if Vegeta would be fine. And Goku was sure, Vegeta went to practice somewhere. Maruz, who heard it, was shocked. Goku, who knows Vegeta's character, said that after they failed to defeat Moro, Vegeta must have felt devastated. Therefore, Vegeta went to look for new ideas. So, Goku couldn't just keep quiet. He asked if they had another plan that didn't involve Majin Buu anymore. Meanwhile, Eriko has agreed to take Vegeta to planet Yadrit. They also managed to escape from the pursuit of Moro's men. But on this trip, it turned out they needed 1 week to arrive. So, Vegeta went to rest first. Before that, Eriko asked what Vegeta's plans were after they arrived at planet Yadrit. Vegeta explained that the Yadrit nation was not suitable for physical combat. However, they have strange techniques. Thus, Vegeta's hope was that the Yadrit nation would know how to fight the Moros. Even though Vegeta knew, this was not his strategy. While in Vegeta's room, let out all his frustration, and said that Moro would not be able to fool him again. Vegeta is sure that next he will win against Moro, the prisoners, or even his rival Goku. Meanwhile, the prisoners colonize an alien planet, and wipe out all the inhabitants there. They took a lot of treasure, then went back to another planet. And after they got the loot, Moro went back to absorbing all the planet's energy until it was dry. After that, they were contacted by the crew from Saganbo that they had found a planet with good energy. And the news of the destruction of several planets was immediately heard by Goku and the others. The Galactic Police had difficulty tracking them, because Moro has a plane that can move quickly. In fact, Goku couldn't even feel his aura, due to the location being too far away. If left to continue, in a few days, Moro will become stronger. Even though they could fight Moro now, they still had no chance of winning. Goku, who was shocked to hear this, said that even if they fought seriously, it would be the same. Because Goku knows, Maruz has great power, and to find out, Goku asks to test Maruz's strength. Goku immediately threw a hard punch, which he easily dodged. Jocko just looked at it and was confused. Meanwhile, Goku, who already thought that, then invited Maruz to train together. Finally, they entered a special place for training. Goku never thought that the Galactic Police would have a place like this. And after both of them were ready, Goku immediately attacked Maruz fiercely. But apparently, all of Goku's attacks can be avoided. Goku continues to use Super Saiyan, but this doesn't deter Maruz. Instead, Goku's body was spun in the air. Next, Goku uses Super Saiyan 3, and attacks with a series of kicks. When none of his attacks hit, Goku immediately turned into Super Saiyan God. But suddenly, the place was destroyed, due to not being able to withstand Goku's strength. Jocko immediately stopped them, so they wouldn't go too far. Goku understands, and returns to his normal form. Maruz said, "Is Goku satisfied?" Goku replied, "If that's enough for now." However, Goku discovered one fact, that Maruz was actually stronger than him. Therefore, Goku asked Maruz to train him. Suddenly, Jocko and Asuka just heard it and were shocked. Goku confirms, even though he hasn't felt all of Maruz's power. It seems like Maruz knows some things that Goku doesn't. Goku said, there is one movement that Goku is still trying to master. The move is Ultra Instinct, which might be useful against Moro. Goku feels that by training with Maruz, he can master Ultra Instinct. Maruz immediately agreed, and was happy to help Goku. They will also move to another, better place. Goku immediately agrees, because it's not training, otherwise he can change into God mode. Then what will happen next? Watch the sequel on the Dragonball channel.